Hey guys, how's it going? So, E7 just showed off a ton of stuff tonight. There's actually a lot to talk about. And the first thing is Ocean Breeze Luluca, who is a limited summer character that's coming out. And we have another summer limited character coming out in 2 weeks, the Lethe character. They're both limiteds. You probably want to pick them up. But let's just talk about her skill set first. So, her stats are the same as, I believe, Amelia, the collab unit. And she has imprint concentration F-res, which you definitely want tons of F-res on her. So her big main thing is this ice cream truck. So if the opponent uses a non-attack skill, when you have this maxed, you get 25% CR push and activate the truck, where you hit them, dispel 2 buffs with an 85% chance to inflict silence and 100% chance to inflict decreased hit chance. But it only works when you have max focus. So when they use a non-attack skill, you get 2 more focus, and then you need to get 3 more, which you'll get from her S3. But this is a really powerful ability because being able to remove their immunity or whatever other things that they have, attack buff, whatever it might be, Emil Choleric attack buff and immunity, something like that. Really big deal. Stripping the buffs and hit chance down when they miss, you basically do absolutely nothing, and you're also silenced. It's kind of like an Angel of Light or Shuna situation. Really, really, really powerful. And when you see her S3, you'll understand how this all comes together. Her S3 is she dispels 2 debuffs from allies, gives increased defense to the team, and gives Ice Cream buff, a unique buff just for Ice Cream, where after being attacked, they heal 20% of max health, so kind of like an Apocalypse Robbie passive, basically. So this also gives 3 focus, and so the whole point is if you're against a character like Emolilius, or Peyra, or Ahmed, or Lua, or any of those kinds of things, right? She will push up after they use their non-attack skill. So she'll probably go after whatever character that is. Then she's able to cleanse whatever debuffs they put on your team. And then she's able to increase defense, making your team really tanky, giving the ice cream buff, and then debuffs the opponent's team heavily. So the whole purpose of her is to counter these super broken openers that are currently in the game and plaguing the entire meta. Now, there is a downside, so what's really cool is it decreases skill cooldowns of the caster by 1 turn when she uses this, but against Lua, if they debuff you, or like if they have enough effectiveness, or if she soul burns, well, you can't resist it, then you're not going to be able to use your S3, so you're not going to get the ice cream truck, and so you're not going to be able to do anything. So it's not quite an amazing counter to Lua if the opponent has souls, but this is a character you build really high F-res on. She has an imprint with F-res, she has 30 base F-res, and then, when you get to this next thing, her artifact, it all comes together even more. When the opponent uses a non-attack skill, increases combat readiness by up to 16% and 40% F-res right there, a stat stick too. Really good artifact. It might be good on characters like DJ Basar or maybe Shuna and stuff like that as well, instead of a Turnus, possibly. And, well, if you just have her base stats plus this, that's 70 F-res plus imprint, that's about 100 effect res without any stats at all. I was looking at what I could make in triples. I could make a 300 F-res Luluca at like 230, 240 speed, and with her 25% passive plus this, that's 41% CR push, so she cuts basically in front of anything in the entire game after they use a non-attack skill. That's kind of insane, actually. And I'm able to get some bulk on her too, so the problem in the past with a lot of these characters is Emolilius will be like, okay, I won't use my S3, I'll S1, and then the character largely becomes completely useless. But in Luluca's case, even if they don't use their skill, you have a character that's giving a defense buff to the team, cleanses, and also gives the ice cream buff, so you're giving your team a lot of bulk versus these aggro or cleave teams. Characters like Emolilius will not be able to use their S3, and their S1 might just get mitigated by her buffs and stuff, which is really good. Peyra can't dare to S3, and then as soon as Luluca takes the turn, she just cleanses the team and gets defense buffs, so Peyra doesn't really do anything either. A lot of these characters are going to be in kind of an awkward scenario. I think that she seems really good, just on paper. Obviously in Guild War and in Arena, she's going to be very good, but I just think a lot of the powerful openers, like Ahmed too, Ahmed uses her skills, she pushes up, makes the team really tanky, and then the opponent's like, okay, well now I have to cleave this defense buff team. That's not that easy. So people are going to start having to come up with some tricky ways to fight her, I suppose. Even if they have Politis, she does push up like 20% if you have this artifact with her passive, which is still a huge push. So if your opponent doesn't have a bridge to take something, just take a turn right after their opener, it could make it kind of hard for them. I think she's just a really big threat to these kinds of teams, and she seems pretty solid. You're able to build insane amounts of F-res on her. Now she is weak to Soul Burn, Ignore F-res, that's obvious. And I don't think she's going to be good versus the Zio Ran cleave team, because Ran can Soul Burn, right? And then Zio usually is running like 250 effectiveness or something, so he's probably going to debuff her anyways, unless you just go a crazy F-res one, which you can, but then you're going to have to lower the tankiness, the speed, or something like that, so it depends how you want to truly utilize her. As for standard play, she theoretically could be used against some characters like Emil Kowaric and stuff, but I don't really think she's worth it, because I think that he might introduce a decent amount of utility even without popping his S3, so it's going to be like a Mexican standoff where the two are going to stare at each other and be like, alright, well, are you going to use your skill? No? Okay, well, I'm not going to use my skill, so I'm just going to sit here. Same with Shuna and Angel of Light. It's like, whoever uses their skill first loses, so they're both just going to kind of sit there and do nothing. So, I'm not sure if she's really for that. I think she's more a counter to the meta, which is aggro and cleave. And I think they did a pretty good job with her skill set. I actually like it quite a bit. I'm going to be pulling multiple copies because I think her artifact is good, and I also just really like the character, so I want some imprints. So I'm definitely a fan of her so far. I like her a lot. Now let's talk about some of the other things. Now some of this is a little concerning, but other parts are very exciting and good. So we have this whole summer event, and they're doing it in a different way. Where now you have these little story things that you just like read and you get rewards, and it just costs energy, super easy. And now they have this gear farming stage. So week 1 and 2, you're going to be able to farm these 3 sets, pen set, counter, and resist. And week 3 and 4, they're going to have speed set, torrent set, and one other set farmable. I don't remember the third. But it seems as though it just drops level 85 equipment, which is insane because it seems to be red gear. I will have to see how efficient it is compared to hunt, and it also drops reforge materials, so it's just a hunt stage, but also drops the sea soda stuff. And so the sea soda is used to exchange here, and you just get epic equipment. You don't get to choose the main stat or anything like that, like the other types. But that's pretty amazing that you just get to craft a bunch of epic equipment. If this is more efficient than hunt, that's kind of insane. But now here's the scary part. So the actual fight is you basically have like 2 teams, and you have like a leader that gives bonuses to your team or whatever, and they're used in both teams, so like your strongest unit. But Luluca has a super buff for this. That's the problem. And depending on your imprint, she gets a better bonus. So is the stage going to be hard without her? Do you need imprint? Like, I'm assuming seasoned endgame players probably don't need imprints, but it does increase your farming speed, which is a little... I'm not sure how I feel about that, but like, okay, that's not the worst. As long as everyone's able to do it, then, you know, if you clear a little faster, who cares? This is the concerning part. This increases the drops of this by up to 40% when you max this. So does that mean if you don't have this artifact, you're just getting 40% less epic equipment than everyone else? That seems like a big problem. Imagine you're running Wyvern 13 and you're just getting 40% less than other people. Like they have a permanent hunt event going and you don't. That seems like it's really bad. Now, we'll have to see what it's like when it actually comes out. Maybe it's not more efficient than hunt overall. And so you're mostly just trying to clear out the shop and maybe get a couple pieces of this and then you're like done. Maybe it's not more efficient. But what if it's just better than hunt? And so does that mean it's just a pay to win hunt, like mega pay to win? And you could say, well, it's always been pay to win, people run sky stones and stuff, but like still just being 40% more efficient. I mean, even the difference between having 1 and maxed is still a 30% difference. That's a whole hunt event right there. I'm a little concerned. I'll wait before, raising a pitchfork or anything like that, but I'm a little bit worried. We'll see how it pans out, but I hope they're not just trying to pander towards mega pay to win or possibly the Chinese audience in that way. We'll see what happens. Now, a good thing, reversion mana stones. So you can't use this on 88 gear, and you can't use it on gear that you have mod gemmed. So keep those in mind. But you can use it up to 5 times on a piece of gear. There's going to be ones for accessories and ones for regular equipment. And, well, it's pretty amazing that you get to just reset the piece back to what it was. That's really, really powerful. I like that a lot. It costs 500,000 gold, which is insane. You also don't get the materials that you used on it back, which I expected. But 500,000 gold, like, we still have Unequip event. or we still have like unequipped costs and stuff. So give us a little more gold, please. If you're going to charge 500,000 each, we got a little new background. This is for crafting the sets. Let's see. We just looked at Luluca for artifact. Yeah, this is where the equip reset thing is going to appear. You'll be able to look at all your pieces of gear that are not modded or 88. You can use it on 85 or 90 pieces, so even if you reforged apparently, and it'll show like this is what it looked like before. So you can look through all your gear for whatever would be the best candidates. And these are the two different types there. We get the Epic Pass with Celine. And I believe that that is basically... Oh, no. I forgot about these two things. New exclusive equipments, 2 of them. This one gives attack. I would say the other 2 things are not all that useful, but the first one, dispelling a debuff from the caster when using her S2, before using her S2, in fact. That's really nice. That means you can actually run her into something like, let's say, ML Quirk. Before, if you were fighting ML Quirk, you would S2 her, and then she would be completely worthless for the entire fight because she has attack down unless you have a cleanser. That sucks. So being able to dispel before is kind of nice. I think it increases her viability. She gets a little bit of attack. I like this. I think it's a good change. I would not go with the other 2. Doesn't seem worth it. I think the main point, you guys know how they do EEs. They make 1 good one and they make 2 trash ones. It's like a no-brainer. They always do this. They could just buff the character, but they never do that. But I think it's a nice addition to her. I wonder if we'll actually see her used a little bit. She's still a little bit of an awkward character. You kind of have to pick near the end of the draft, but it does increase her usability a bit. I think it's good. And then Tempest Surin, the data mined one that we saw a million years ago, it gives crit chance, which is amazing. Crit chance is always great. And the special one they gave her is when you use her S3, it dispels a buff from the target before putting unable to be buffed. So that means against Ran or something, the S2s, then S3s, then she pushes up because her passive, and then she just instantly S3s and silences their team and everything. I think that's pretty great. I like it. If she is able to be used as an anti-cleave, I think that would be very beneficial. It seems like they are aware that cleave and aggro are very strong, so they're trying to make some countermeasures. I don't know if this is going to be super strong, but I like that they are kind of making her possibly good, right? Because she's been in the dumpster for a while. So I think it's a great addition to Tempest Surin. Let's hope it actually pans out well. And then, oh, this is huge. This is something I thought we would have to wait a lot longer for. Draft mode. They might actually add it as an official mode later, but this draft mode is amazing. So it basically just looks at the pool of like all characters that are used at least a decent amount. It aggregates their stats from like the top people. And then every time you're drafting a character, you'll have 3 choices that you draft from. 3 characters. So in this case, you see Unbound Knight, Airwell, Selene, Crimson Armin. And if you look closely at their stats, let me just zoom in right here. This is pretty damn good. This Airwell is absurdly tanky with good F-res, is on Adamant Shield. Her speed's a little whatever, but she's also on counter. Like, that's really good. Look at this Selene. That's a lot of damage, not bad. They're all triple S, all the characters. This Crimson Armin, like, I saw a picture of some other characters, and it had like Emo Leica, and the Emo Leica was just better than mine. It had a counter shoe that's better than my shoe that I currently have. Like, it seems to be insane stuff. So even if you're a newer player to RTA, you can basically use top tier endgame built units in this game mode. Everyone is plus 15, they're all triple S, and they have a plus 30 artifact of the most popular used artifact in that character. That seems amazing. This game mode is incredible for new players or veterans. You can sample units in this game mode if you happen to get them, because it's random. It's 3 random units every single time. Amazing game mode. Amazing addition to the game. Love it. Absolutely love it. I don't think anyone can complain about this. It might even become an actual fully fledged game mode in the future. I want to host a tournament of it. I think it'll be a lot of fun. I love this. I'm going to be messing with this probably a lot, actually. So I'm very excited about it. So we have the banners Luluca, then we have Selene. I think we get Violet next week or something, like as some of the next banners. But 628, that already happened. But that's the entire post. So all in all, I would say that this is a ton of content. I would say a lot of it's pretty exciting. I am very concerned about this whole enhanced artifact thing. I really hope that it's not actually going to be something serious. I hope they don't make stuff pay to win. but I think Luluca is great for the game overall as far as I can tell. Hopefully, you know, maybe in the future she'll be really frustrating, but we'll see. I think she's great. I like how they're structuring this event as like a hunt farming thing, because everyone wants gear, right? Who doesn't? Get a bunch of gear stuff from this. You get the reversion mana stones to reset equipment. I think that's amazing. The draft mode is awesome. Just all in all, I think that there's so many good additions that I really hope they don't mar the whole thing by adding a bunch of pay-to-win stuff. So we'll see how it actually goes. I'm happy for the Selene skin. I'm happy for Luluca. Oh yeah, and the evil. And yeah, that's basically it. So those are kind of just my impressions on the patch. Tomorrow I'm going to be experiencing all of it because it's all out right after maintenance. So thanks a bunch for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to leave a like or subscribe to the channel, and I hope to see you next time.